Hey guys, I've always wanted to try and craft my own miniature furniture, so today I'm going to be trying that out. I have found a few different furniture crafting tutorials online, so I'm going to be trying them out to see if they're simple and easy or if they're a lot more challenging than what they look. So the first tutorial I found online was how to make a DIY doll closet. So I'll only be using 2 items for this craft. So they said you needed 2 dowels, but instead I found a bird ladder at my local store, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And then the next item I need is some sort of box for the closet itself. This one is a mint green color. I was thinking of doing one with more of a print or design on it, but I feel like this one would go in more rooms and would suit the theme, so I went ahead with this one. So before I start the actual craft, what I need to do is I need to remove these hooks that are on the side of the bird ladder. They're really easy to unscrew and there's a total of 2 I need to remove. So now it's time to design the closet itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the bird ladder into the box to make it look more like a closet so it can hold outfits and clothing items. Of course you can use blue tack or some sort of glue or something to hold it in place, but I managed to find a box that seems to hold the bird ladder in place, so I'm just going to be leaving it like so. So now, of course, the final step is to add the outfits in, and I've picked out a few different dress options to give you an idea on the sizing of the set, and it does seem to be staying in place as I add in the outfits, which is really great to see. So I'll only be adding a few dresses in for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and restyle it when I have it in place when the doll room's set up. So I moved the doll closet over to where it's going to be located in the room, so I managed to add in a few extra outfits, and the last step is to add accessories and shoes. So here we have an umbrella, and then I've also added in some sneakers as well. Overall, the tutorial was really easy to follow. It was very simple, and this is a really cheap and easy way to create an item for a doll room setup. So let's go ahead and move on to the next furniture piece. The next furniture item I really like to create is a small side table just to add on the side of the bed, but I'm not going to be copying a tutorial because all I'm going to be doing is wrapping a box with contact paper. So I'm using the same paper as the one with the bouquet bed to match the rest of the room. I have a choice between 2 different sizes of boxes. One is slightly smaller than the other, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Kleenex tissue box because that sizing suits the room. So let me go ahead and move that out of the way so I can use it for the craft. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting the contact paper that I need, and I'm just going to be wrapping it around the box itself to make it look not so much like a tissue box and more like a furniture item. So I'm just cutting up the right sizing, and of course I need to wrap the sides and also the top of the box itself. I won't be wrapping the bottom because you won't be able to see it, but I just need to wrap this Kleenex logo and then the sides as well. So I have the cutout piece here, and as I said before, it's sticky, so I can remove that section on the bottom so it's able to stick onto the box. I won't need to worry about glue or tape or anything of the sort, and I just need to stick it down right at the top corner so it's straight and it's in line, and then I can slide it down so it sticks down to the rest of the box. And I'll just need to go ahead and repeat that process again on the sides and the top as well. I need to cut some more pieces of the contact paper. So here we have the box completely covered with the contact paper. Of course, I didn't do the bottom because I didn't need to do that, but I did do the sides, so now it's time to add it into the room. The next step is to add some accessories on top of the box so it's able to match the rest of the room. So first off, there are some gorgeous flowers that match some of the outfits that are in the closet already. And then up next, there's a bottle of lemonade that can go right in the middle. And the last item we have here is a pink tablet, and it's showing a game of Sudoku. And I'll just be adding a few food items at the front. So first off, there's a packet of shortbread cookies. Up next, there are some fresh berries in a gorgeous purple container. And the last item is a cherry pie. And now we have finished styling this item. So here we have an overview of the room setup. There's the closet, the side table, and the bouquet bed. It was so easy to try and recreate it, and it was also really great to use recycled items. Of course, I did need to go purchase the bird ladder and the contact paper, but it definitely just added more style to the room. So be sure to keep watching this video to see how I created this bouquet bed using a box, cardboard, contact paper, and glue. And here we have the item I'm going to be trying to recreate today. It is the bouquet bed. There is a tutorial online, and I'm going to be following that to see if it's simple to follow or it's a little bit more challenging. So here's what I'll be using today for the craft. So first off, there's cardboard paper, and I have it in quite a few different sizes because you'll be needing a lot of it since that's the frame of the bed. And the next item that I have here is contact paper, and you can see it's a light wooden design. I could have picked more of a solid color, but I feel like this looks a lot more natural. And in order to stick everything together, I have some glue right here. And the last item is, of course, a pair of scissors to be able to cut the cardboard. And the contact paper too. And as for the main part of the bed, I'll actually be using an American Girl doll box. So as you can tell, this box is actually for Meadow, but the box won't get damaged while the bed's being made, and I can always take it apart and use the box when I need to. So here I have some cardboard, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab the box, and I'm going to lay it on top of the cardboard itself. I'm going to measure it up so it's the exact same height as the box, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out 4 large strips of the cardboard paper. And here we have 2 out of the 4 strips, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue both pieces together so it's a lot thicker, as it's meant to be the railing of the bed. And once the glue's in place, I'll go ahead and stick both sides together and it should stay in place. And now that they're stuck together, I'm going to repeat the process again. So now that the bed railings are stuck together, the next step is to, of course, design them. So I have the contact paper here, and all I need to do is stick it down on the pieces. And what I really like about this contact paper is that it's sticky on the other side, so I just need to remove the peel when I'm ready to add it in. Of course, I do need to cut it and size it depending on the item, and even though paper is a really great option, I feel like it's quite time consuming compared to the contact paper. So now all I need to do is tack the corners on either side, and I'll need to cut out some more contact paper for the extra pieces it didn't completely cover. So now that they're finished, let's move right along to the next step. So now what I'm making is the header of the bed. So I have an 18-inch doll here. We have Hope, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line her up against the bottom of the box. I'm just measuring her height, and then I'm also going to measure the width of the box. I've just moved the doll out of the way so I can place the box down. And I'm just going to measure the width just a little bit larger than the box, so when it's completely cut out, it will sit nicely behind the box itself. And all I need to do is cut out those measurements. And here we have the piece all cut. You can see it's very similarly shaped to the doll box, and I just repeated the step again, so I needed a total of 2. And then I went ahead and cut out 2 more smaller pieces for the footer of the bed, but they do need to be slightly taller than the doll box itself. So I have the 2 pieces for the headboard, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue both of these pieces together to make them thicker than what they are already. So I have my glue stick, and I'm just spreading the glue throughout the whole board, and once that's finished, I'll go ahead and put the glue down, and I'll just add the other piece on top of that. I'm just repeating the step again, so I have the glue stick here, but this time it's with the smaller pieces, but it shouldn't take as long since the items are a lot smaller. And of course, one of the most important steps to the headboard is to decorate it with the contact paper. I have it right here. I'm going to cut the pieces accordingly so we can completely cover it. Let me repeat that process again, but this time with a smaller item. I have my scissors right here, so I'm just going to cut the paper. And now that both items have been covered, the next step is to decorate them. This just makes the bed look more like the bouquet bed we're trying to recreate. And the next step here is to cut 3 thin strips for the footer. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those 3 items and then cover them with contact paper, of course. I'd rather cut too much than too little because I can always cut it off and use it for a next part of the craft. So I'm just cutting this small strip here, and it seems to be slightly larger than the actual piece itself. So I'm just going to wrap the contact paper around the strips and then cut off any excess pieces. And the next step is to, of course, glue those 3 strips down. I have one on either side, and I'll place the third one in the middle. And as for this extra strip, it can go over the top of the board just to give it a bit more dimension. Now that that's all finished, let's go ahead and focus on the headboard, and there's a lot of detail to this section. If you saw the bouquet bed right at the start of the video, you saw that there was some shelving elements, so we're going to try and recreate those today. So here we have quite a few different pieces of cardboard paper cut up. There are 4 smaller ones and 2 larger ones. So the next step is to cover all of the different pieces in contact paper. And now that they're all covered, let's go ahead and add them onto the headboard. So we're going to try and replicate the bouquet bed itself. I have all of the different pieces here. I'm going to grab one of the larger ones and place them at the top here. Of course, I do need to glue these down, which I will do later on. And then the 4 smaller pieces will go across like 2 in the middle and 2 on the outer edge, and this one can go underneath those. And here we have the items stuck down. So the next step is to add some long strips on either side, and it's meant to just reach right up until the top of the doll box, which is of course the bed. Roughly halfway between the shelving unit at the top and the bed itself, I'm going to go ahead and add another shelving design. I have a strip of paper here I'm going to add and 2 small triangles to hold it up. The headboard is now finished, so the next step is to focus on the bed. So what I've done is I've wrapped fabric around the doll box itself, and I've pinned it down and I've tucked it at the bottom, and I've also pinned it down on either side so it doesn't stick out. I really love this design. It's a light blue color, perfect for summertime, and there's also some gold and pink on it too. The headboard has been attached to the bed, so the next step is to attach the footer at the front. So as you can see, the fabric is still sticking out the front, but once you attach the footer to it, you don't even notice, so I'm not worried about that for now. So I just need to stick that down and also the railings too, so it looks like a bed. And the final step is to, of course, add some pillows onto the bed as well. I just have this fluffy one at the back and some decoration pillows at the front to match the bedding that's already there. Just to compare the two, you can see that the bouquet bed is a lot larger in width. You can see that the one that I created was a lot skinnier and smaller, but I really do love this DIY bed. I feel like it looks a lot like the bouquet bed. It has the same idea, and I'm really impressed with the tutorial because I managed to follow it step by step and it actually turned into the bed. And as I said before, I've always wanted to try and recreate miniature furniture, so I would say this is a success. It's definitely a more affordable and cheaper option to try and make miniature furniture rather than purchasing it from different brands. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it.